Ready? New stuff, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff. Okay, good. Guys, today we're talking about sets. Today we're talking about sets, and we're talking about a collection of objects or elements. A collection. Like me, I collect comic books. I also collect, yeah, of course I do. I also collect lots of things, right? That's my collection. Things in my collection, like my comic books, are objects, and you could also call them elements. Interesting hobby you got going on there, Al. Eric, we got a videotape. Okay, guys. So let's talk about a little bit of vocab. That's all it's going to be today. Vocab. Well, a little bit of messing around, but there's no real computations being made. The intersection of two sets. The intersection of two sets. Well, you know what? This is not as much fun as collecting comic books, but you could collect numbers, right? A is a collection of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and B is another collection of numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And so, what does it mean when we say the intersection of A and B, of the two sets? Well, what we mean is, what do sets A and B have in common? Second, here's something you need to keep track of. Now we're going to be, this symbol right here is going to be, that U-looking thing is going to be flipped downwards like that, and then in the next part it's going to be flipped upwards. And you're going to have to keep track in your mind what it means when it's flipped downwards like this, right? This is going to be the intersection. What do they have in common? So what numbers do sets A and B have in common? I know you guys are taking them down, but here they got 2 in common. Do they have anything else in common? They have 4 in common. Anything else? No? Okay. So then we're going to say that the intersection of A and B is going to be 2 and 4. Whoops. Oh, come on. All right, guys. So let's practice the intersection of two sets again. Guys, what do these guys have in common? What do these guys have in common? Nothing, right? They have absolutely nothing in common. You can't write 0 down, because this would mean they have 0 in common. When two things have nothing in common, you put a 0 with a mark next to it. That means absolutely nothing. It also means the empty set, right? Because there's nothing. These two sets, if they don't have anything in common, are called disjoint sets. Disjoint sets. Yep. All right. So there's the intersection of two sets, and then there's the union of two sets. It's like the union of two sets, right? So the union of two sets is like A and B. A and B are going to get married. You know what they're going to do? They're going to move in together. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, A and B are so excited. A and B are so excited. What does the union of the A and B look like? The union of A and B? Well, A has got all her stuff, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And B is going to bring all his stuff, 2, 4, and 6. And together, they're going to live happily ever after. Yep. Together, they're going to live happily ever after with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. You just put these aren't just the ones they have in common. This is all of their stuff together. Instead of doubling up, writing 2 2s and 2 4s, right? All I do is 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is all A, and then whatever, and all of B, including that 6. Oh, these numbers right here, these just exist. Yeah, these just exist. Like set A, she's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and set B is 2, 4, and 6. You know that. And then you try and figure out, what does the union of A and B look like? What's their happy home look like? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. But this is our conversation is a great introduction to our next little part, because we're going to talk about complements, right? Complements. If this is the universe, right? And here's set A, The complement of set A is like her husband. It's like the person that completes her. And together, they're the whole universe.
They're gonna have a
All right. So take a look. So take a look. If this is the universe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and here's set A, she's 3, 4, and 5. What's her husband look like? What's her complement look like? What? What is the complement of A? What would, no, the complement of A, symbolized by A with a little bar on top of it, right? What would complete her so that they together form the universe? What numbers? 1 and 2. Excellent. Yeah, that's the complement of set A, and that's what that little bar means, right? The complement of set A is what completes her, or him. And in this particular case, it's 1 and 2, because 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 create the universe right there. Here we go. It's time to practice, man. Practice. So it's time to practice. Let's take a look. Here's what all the given stuff up over here. Here's the universe. There's what it looks like. The universe is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And set A consists of 6 and 7, and B is 3, 5, and 7. So, right? So if that's the case, then what does the intersection of the complement of A and B look like? Here we go. Right? In order to try and even figure out what the intersection of the complement of A and B look like, we have to figure out what is the complement of A and what's the complement of B. Right? So what is the complement of A? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? It's all the numbers that would complete set A and create the universe. What about B? What's the complement of B? Yeah, 1, 2, 4, and 6. 1, 2, 4, and 6. Excellent job. Okay, so there are 2 new sets, right? Now, we got to remember what this U shape does. When the U is facing downwards, are we talking about them moving in, or are we talking about just what they have in common? Yeah. Whoops, sorry. Just what they have in common. Just what they have in common, yep. Right? It's the intersection of the complement of A and the complement of B. What do they have in common? Well, they definitely have 1 in common. They definitely have 2 in common. And they definitely have 4 in common. So we say that the intersection of the complement of A and the complement of B happens to be 1, 2, and 4. And I'm going to put my funny squiggles because, I can do it and you can. So one last thing to practice, and then we're going to head out to our homework. Take a look at the bar. The bar is over the entire thing. It's not over individual sets, right? So here we want the complement of the union of A and B. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. How are we going to do this? So here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do it. The complement of the union of A and B, well, first we have to figure out what is the union of A and B. Let's go dual screen. The union, these guys are moving in together. A and B, A and B just moved in together, and so now they consist of 3, 5, 6, and 7. What's the complement of that? Right? What completes this set? What goes with it to build the universe? Eric. Yeah. 1, 2, 4. That's all there is to it. That's the complement.